morning Minecraft, good morning village. Well, time to get to work.
So this starts with my mom moving us into a new house at the time. This house was in a new area where it was also home to a separate school district, and I just had to, of course, be moving into that school district for my next school year.
Hey guys, alright, so I'm sure you saw some more of mine.
There was a lot of pressure that was on me with just trying to work with this new school's actual way of teaching. And one of the things that I also had to get me by was the new friend group I made for the time in that school. I had to get used to some people eventually, but for the time, I knew in the back of my head, once I got home, it wasn't gonna be the same as how they spend their time at home. In this time, I was actually a completely offline kid. Once I moved into this new house, we had no internet. All we had were our games, and we could just play anything offline. There was nothing we could really do about it, and I just had to work with what I could with enjoying like single player campaigns and stuff. Literally playing Minecraft just offline, fully creative world, just playing it to myself. And also from what you've seen on YouTube, that's how I decided to share what I made, just to get shown to the world in a way of getting to share it, wanting people to see what I've made. That kind of stuff was what I wanted to do for the time, and so many things were just working with what I had, and it didn't really make me upset. I just felt like I was actually making myself happy just doing what I could. And back then I just consumed Markiplier and just nice gaming content that I thought was going to be enjoyable to me, with just being so aspiring and wanting to make content for my own. And I would even want to share it to those people I made friends with, and just wanting to show them what I was doing. And that was a thing for the time where I was just working with what I had and trying to make the best out of it.
Hey guys, hello, what's going on? My name is Flashlight. Welcome back to Soulcraft. Die, demon! Have you guys ever played Hill 2? You know what I'm talking about.
So in that time, I shared a finished thumbnail image to the leader and my other friends. His response was saying that I should not go through with this thumbnail and putting it on YouTube, because with me being a teenager and me making it in the time that I'm making it, I'm going to be made fun of if I follow the Markiplier route that I wanted to take. And that made no sense to me at the time. That made absolutely no sense of being like, who would make fun of me? I'm just making something that other kids my age are probably doing as well right now on YouTube. And for the time, it made sense for me to just be like, well, I see no problem with this. So I ended up doing it. I ended up ignoring the leader's words and going forward and saying, I'm gonna continue making these thumbnails the way I want and making them look the way that I want them to look, all fun and hilarious to me. When they all got into Five Nights at Freddy's, when it first came around, like 2014, I decided to involve myself with that too, even though it wasn't really that much of my interest and wasn't really up my alley in the first place. I was like, okay, I'll just follow what they're enjoying. I was someone who loved sharing my love for Nintendo at the time to my friends, just here and there.
Well, today we're playing Super Mario World. No, wait, Super Mario Hardcore. Yeah, you see right there.
I grew up with just liking the charm of how Mario came across. He was one of my favorites. And even though I didn't have any Nintendo consoles for a long time growing up, I just liked the charm that Mario had. And even though I didn't own anything of his, it didn't mean I couldn't be a Nintendo fan with having an Xbox and stuff. So when I just talked about my love for Nintendo stuff to my friends from time to time, I think it was the leader who mainly just was like, alright, we get it, you love Mario and all that. And I got their point of view. I understood that it was a little much on them. But from what I talked about in the first video and how I basically had to get onto their love for FNAF just to be able to really be in with them, when you're shoving FNAF down my throat so much to where I have to consume it with you, you give me no other choice. And then I'm someone who has to be told to quiet down about Nintendo when you're all FNAF fans. It was just something that I didn't know was going to be so surprising how I ended up at the time, because I could see right through the kind of BS of that whole thing. But with that said, I'm just saying you should be smart about it. You should really take into thinking, like, this seems like it'll be, catching everybody's eyes or catching everybody's enjoyment. Like, think about how engagement goes with like the first few seconds in, because it's just how it seems to me of like something that makes sense to me.